Hey everyone, I'm GSoC. I'm a GSoC admin at OpenMRS.
And I'm Beryl. I'm also a GSoC administrator at OpenMRS. And we are here to share some good news with you. Today is on 27th, and we just received the news that we have been accepted as a mentoring organization for GSoC 2025. So we are really looking forward to doing it again this year, right, Jaya?
That's really good news, and we just received 5 minutes before recording this video, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So OpenMRS is participating in GSoC since 2007. That means this is our 18th year. So we have been doing this for 18 years, right, babe?
Yeah, almost two decades of GSoC. So this is not a
That's a
mean
long
feat.
period.
Exactly. Yeah, and we know students right now are now in the mood. Everything is now coming in together. Organizations will now start announcing that they have been accepted as mentoring organizations, and then students will now be poised to that choice of deciding how many or which organization they want to contribute to. So that's why we are here. That process can be overwhelming, so we wanted to make it easier for our students. So we are creating this video to just give a brief overview of OpenMRS, our project, how to make an application, and what to do to make your application and your contribution period easier for you, given that some of you might be first-time contributors and others are seasoned contributors, but might be your first time contributing to OpenMRS. So we can get
Exactly.
started.
Yeah, exactly. And okay, before we get started, Beryl, why do you think students should consider OpenMRS for their GSoC?
I think there are very many reasons, but the great reason is real world impact. So OpenMRS
Mm-hmm.
is an open source medical record system that is making an impact in healthcare globally. We are in over 80 countries around the world, and we have over 22 million patients who have been served or whose data has gone through OpenMRS or who have interacted with OpenMRS in a healthcare facility in one way or another. So that's the main reason. If you would like to be part of the people or the community that is making real world impact, then OpenMRS should be an organization that you would consider when making application.
22 million, that's a huge number, right? So
Exactly.
and the other nice thing is that OpenMRS has a welcoming community with structured onboarding for newcomers, right? And also we use the cutting edge technologies like Java, front React, and like the micro front ends or whatever, like the latest technologies. So you can that will help you to improve your technical skills as well, and even to stand out you in the job market.
Definitely. OpenMRS has been doing this for over 2 decades, so over 20 years in the open source space. So we have a really vast and a really good community of open source contributors who have been contributing to making OpenMRS what it is today. So be assured that if you're a newcomer, we have put systems in place where you get
Mhm.
onboarded, get acquainted with the community and other community members. And definitely the power of the community comes in where past GSoC students have had long-term contributions or have become long-term contributors to OpenMRS, not only OpenMRS, but beyond in other healthcare areas around the world where they've been able to get jobs through organizations that use or implement OpenMRS, and also among peers, like peer-to-peer work where you get to network with other people and just to add value and add some impact in the job market.
Exactly. And yeah, and the most important part is the network, right? Network is your network, so
Definitely.
you'll be get the chance to interact with many community members. It's a uh, it's a very diversified community from like all over people from all over the country.
Yeah.
So
And speaking
speaking
of
of
opportunity,
opportunities, oh yeah, people said the same thing. So yeah,
Yeah,
go
speaking
ahead,
of
Beryl.
opportunities, let's talk about our project ideas for this year. So we have been compiling a list from our community members and our community organizations throughout the past 1 to 2 months. We started in
Mhm.
early January. So we currently have more than 10 finalized projects, which are listed on our wiki, OpenMRS GSoC 2025, which we'll add the link in the description box. So we have more than 10 finalized projects. The project list might continue evolving as we get more ideas and more mentors. But you can add something on that, Jasanka. What do you think about how far we've come in terms of shortlisting
Yeah,
projects for 2025?
So definitely keep an eye out on like the evolving project ideas list. You can watch in our wiki page, and we have very like this year. It's very special because we have a diverse project areas. There are projects for front end project, back end projects, and also some projects related to DevOps. Some projects relate to testing, as an example, like performance related projects. So there's a diversified list. You can like go through and pick whatever based on your interest.
Yeah, definitely. And all the projects have a brief and more comprehensive project page where you can get what the mentors are looking for, what are our ideas behind that project, what skill level or what skill
Mm.
set you would need to have for you to effectively contribute to that project, and who are the mentoring community members. Most of our mentors are people, all of our mentors are people in our community. So you get to have a description of what we are looking for. That will just enable you to gauge yourself, start making contributions towards projects that you are interested in, and also see what skill set you have that you think might be important for the projects that we have listed on that page. So
Page.
if you are a
Yeah.
student and you're interested in contributing to OpenMRS, how do you think they should get started, Jasanka?
That's a good question. So there are many ways that you can engage with the community. We have different communication channels, especially OpenMRS Talk, where all our discussions happen. It's our discussion forum. You can visit OpenMRS Talk, talk.openmrs.org, and also Slack for immediate conversation. We use Slack. Slack.openmrs.org, and you can create your Slack account and you can chat with the people. We have all the relevant channels for different projects in OpenMRS, and also we have a channel called GSoC, right, Beryl? And
Right.
you can ask any question related to GSoC on that channel, and we try our best to answer with your questions. And we, Beryl and me, and also the other mentors, and also previous students, like there's a whole community there to help you in order to get started.
Yeah, most of our community members start by introducing themselves. So when you go to our talk platform, you'd get a thread called Introduce Yourself. So that's a good place to get started. Introduce yourself. Let us know about you. Who are you? Where are you coming from? What are you interested in? What do you think you'd want to contribute to? It's just a way of breaking the ice so that you can
Mhm.
meet other community members and we can also know about you going forward. And just a brief overview of like, tell us a little bit about ourselves, which can be done in one paragraph. So that's where most of our community members start. Once you introduce yourself, definitely you'll get a warm welcome from our community members and directions on how to proceed if your interest is in GSoC. And we
Yeah.
can talk
We
about early engagement. That's important, Jay. So why do you think it's important for the students to start engaging early in the community?
Yeah, because so at the end of the day, you need to submit an application, right? Like for whatever the project that you are picking. In order to do that, you need to have an idea about how the community works and what are the community priorities, what we expect, right? And yeah, we also expect you to like do some contributions. So you need some time to figure out all of these stuff. So the earlier, the better. If you can engage with the community.
Yeah, and we have a list of resources. So once you've joined our community and wondering which resources, where do I start reading, where do I start gathering
Mm.
information and learning about OpenMRS? So we have some resources that we can recommend to your students to get a better way of understanding OpenMRS. So we have OpenMRS Wiki, which is like our knowledge hub of a sort. So we have comprehensive documentation that spans years and years that just gives an overview of what OpenMRS is, what we do, the architecture of OpenMRS, how can you contribute, the different ways of contributing, how to set up your environments, how to install things, how to set up it up on your local computer. So the wiki
Mhm.
is definitely the place where you'd get um, information on how things run in OpenMRS, the technologies we use, how we use them, and if you want to contribute, what are the steps that you can take to contribute. But we also have an academy. Jaya can talk a little bit
Yeah,
more about that.
yeah. OpenMRS Academy. That's my favorite because Beryl, I'm a visual learner, so I would love to watch video tutorials and learn through that rather than reading documentation. I know you are a reader, so um, So OpenMRS Academy is a set of courses, right? We can say it's a set of courses that you can follow. As an example, if you are allowed to start with OpenMRS front-end development, you have a course there. And if you are allowed to work with QA automation, you do have a course there. So, and also you will get a certificate, and you can mention it on your application as well, so that we know that you have gone through that, so you have an idea about that. So you can we will drop a link to the OpenMRS Academy as well. Go and enroll. You can complete those courses. Like it will be like you can complete them within few hours, right? And each course, I mean,
Yeah, sure. And we know we have some
very,
hands-on experience
yeah.
folks here who would want to maybe get a practical demonstration on what OpenMRS is and how it works. So we have a demo instance which can be accessed through o3.openmrs.org. There you can explore OpenMRS without installation. So that's just a way in which you can go into OpenMRS, explore OpenMRS, look at how OpenMRS looks like from a user's point of view, look at how everything is put together in our latest version, which is version 3, what we call O3, in case you're wondering what O3 is. And don't worry, I know GSoC says there's a risk of breaking it. So what should someone do when something breaks?
Just break it. Like we encourage you to break stuff so that we can find bugs on our system. And if you break something, no worries, just refresh the page, so it won't be an issue. So feel free to just play around. And I think that would be the best way to get an idea on what we are building, right? And about what you're about to build as well. So I highly encourage you to go to that.
Yeah, different ways. The Wiki, the Academy, the demo instance, all those are ways in which you can enhance your learning. We have mentioned the word community a lot. So let's talk about community engagement tips. So one of the crucial bits in terms of having a successful GSoC application is engaging in the community. As you said, OpenMRS community has been there for a long, long time. So that is the main way in which we communicate amongst ourselves and how we build OpenMRS as a whole. So Jai, what would you recommend in terms of participation?
Yeah, I would recommend them to first start with talk, because all of our discussions and all of our engineering discussions and everything is open, and we do it on OpenMRS Talk. You can just go there and engage with those discussions. You can give your suggestions, and also you can ask questions there, right? About like if you don't understand about a specific component is not it's working, how it works, you can just ask a question there, and you can give your suggestions. And even say if you're setting up the project, a repository, but you end up with a question, so you can just post, okay, this I tried to do this and that, and like this breaks, and this is the whole error message, can anyone help? So there's there are many people in the community that willing to help you, so they will do. And even if you see a question, say you see a question from another GSoC contributor or someone that you know the answer, feel free to give the answer and help them based on your experience as well. So OpenMRS Talk, definitely engage there. And also, the most important one, meetings. Beryl, how someone new to the community can find our meetings?
We have an OpenMRS calendar, or what we call the OpenMRS events calendar, that is on our wiki. So you can definitely add that to your personal calendar. So we have meetings throughout the week. Most of them have dedicated time spots, and we try to make them in a time zone that most people can join. So you can attend community meetings. Just look at our calendar. Look at what meetings we have. We have coffee hours. We have meetings specifically for certain concepts that people are working on. So if you feel like you want to join us in those one-on-one meetings with other community members and get to know community members well, just listen in. If you think you don't have anything to contribute, just listen in to what people are working on, what people are doing. And if you feel like you want to ask questions, then that's also a good way to ask questions and get instant replies or instant solutions to your problem. We have descriptions for every meeting. So if you're wondering what is a dev office hour, what is an O3 coffee call and all that, they have brief descriptions on what happens during the meetings and who would potentially join those meetings. Another thing to do with the meetings, we have recorded meetings. So most of the important meetings are recorded, and I usually post the recordings to those meetings in our different channels. So in case you miss, you're in a very different time zone and there's a community call that you desperately think would be helpful to you, don't shy away from asking, reach out to us. We will share the recording with you. The recordings are also posted on the Slack channel. This is a way for you to go back and follow along with the discussions and see what people talked about. And with that, we also allow you to follow our issues. So we track our issues, and Jaya can talk about our issue tracker and what you can do around our issue tracker.
Yeah, so all of our tasks is created as tickets in Jira. So we use Jira as a like issue tracking software. So you can visit our issue tracker, issues.openmrs.org, but you need permission in order to gain the access to issue tracker. And there's a specific form that you can fill out. I think we can just drop our student guideline in the description right there. So all these details are included on how to gain access and everything. So then go through the issue tracker, and you can find an easy task that you can start working on. So all the description and what needs to be done is documented in each tickets. If you have any questions, you can just drop a comment asking like what needs to be done and whatever, and you can open a PR. So yeah, you can open a PR, and even like after opening a PR, people will review your PR. So get access to Jira. That would be the first place you will start. Yeah, that will help you to start your first contribution, do your first contribution. And about meetings, Beryl, say I just need to listen. I don't want to like interact on a meeting at first. Like maybe I'm a bit shy. So can I still join those meetings?
Yeah, sure. There's no obligation that you need to contribute to those meetings. So if it's your first time, you're still finding your way around OpenMRS, definitely join those meetings. They're a great way to get started. You can just listen in throughout the meeting, just see what people are talking about, what people are presenting, because most of those meetings have presentations where people are maybe sharing their screen and showing what they've been working on. So you are totally allowed to just sit in and listen. And we know with time, you'd get maybe now more equipped in terms of knowledge around OpenMRS, and then you also now find your voice in terms of contributing and speaking at meetings. And now with that, we have mentioned a lot of things, and it has just made me remember that joining OpenMRS is quite similar to joining your first day at university. You've just joined university, you're a freshman, you are very new, and it's initially overwhelming, like a lot of things on your first day at university. Through your first week or first month or first semester is quite overwhelming, and that is something we think you'll also experience
really,
at OpenMRS.
that's really good analogy. That's resonated with me as well. I can remember my first day at university, unfamiliar buildings. I didn't know where to eat. I didn't know the people, and there was a lot of new faces. I didn't know where the lecture hall was, so it was completely overwhelming at the beginning of the university.
Yeah, but with time, yeah, things start falling into place. You now start finding a way around things. And that's definitely what we would like our students to come knowing. Like initially, it might seem very overwhelming, a lot of information. Even watching this video, you had us talk about a lot of things, a lot of platforms, a lot of communication channels, and you're just wondering, how will I figure this out? So it might get confusing in the first stages, especially if it's your first time contributing to open source, it's your first time hearing or like going through OpenMRS. You've never heard about OpenMRS before, so it will be initially confusing, and that's completely normal. Feel comfortable in that confusion. Every contributor has gone through that. We've gone through that. I know Jaya has gone through that. Our even experienced admins and mentors have gone through that. So it's just like the first day of feeling lost, but now that initial discomfort is completely temporary and is expected. So that's why I expect you to ask questions, seek clarification if something is not clear, if you're struggling with something. All of us are always there. Our community members are always there to help you just get yourself around things and figure out things.
Yeah. So before long, you'll be confident. You'll gain the confidence, and you'll know who to ask, like where to join the meetings and everything. So keep doing it. It won't take that long. So just like you are now comfortable with your university, navigating in your university. So it will take like a few weeks. There was a nice quote on one of my books. Not one of the books I've read. This is the book. Actually, I can't read the book's name out loud. So in a part of that book, I just noted it somewhere. Oh, here we are. So there was a quote saying, when I was in high school, my math teacher, Mr. Packwood, used to say, if you're stuck on a problem, don't sit there and think about it. Just start working on it. Even if you don't know what you are doing, the simple act of working in it will eventually cause the right ideas to show up in your head. So this is kind of a mantra. I remind myself all the time. So I call it do something principle. Don't just sit there, do something. The answers will follow.
Definitely, yeah. Don't let the initial intimidation just stop you from engaging completely. Everyone starts from somewhere. And once you have figured your way out, it will be very simple, very seamless for you to contribute to OpenMRS. Now, on to the technical stuff. So once a student has identified a project idea and they know what they're interested in, what should they do next?
Yeah, now you know how to do like the contribute. Now you know where the project's ideas are. Now you have picked your idea. So I would recommend you to create a dedicated talk thread for your project, so that you can document your journey out there. Right, as we discussed, yeah, just like document your findings and everything. um, uh, I mean, say that you try to set it up for the first time and you got issues, you can just post there and maybe you open a PR or something like that. Or you just want to know about the requirements and you can just validate, you can tag your mentors and ask questions there. Just keep it as a backlog. And also say that, as an example, there's a project for performance testing. The reason I mentioned because I'm mentoring that project. So if you're interested on that project, you can just visit that project page and you can just clone the repository. That's very important. Right? Then you can try to set it up and see how it works. And if you get questions, you can just post it there, and you can see the ways how can you improve that. Maybe try opening a pull request. Oh, say Beryl, just you're going through the README, trying to set up the project, but you find something is not clear, or maybe then you can ask it from on your Slack, in the Slack or talk or wherever. Then you get your answer, maybe by Googling it. So make sure that you can just update the documentation part so that another person like don't have to go through that. So I've seen that, like yesterday this happened. There was a special command that was missing on the documentation, and one student opened a PR just like fixing that thing. So you can do stuff like that. And you can document everything, your journey, so your mentors like can evaluate. Like once you submit your application, we can evaluate, okay, oh, this student has done this and that, so that means like this student has some experience like by doing things on this repo. So that will be a good indicator of a good student, right, Beryl?
Yeah, exactly. One aspect of contributing to open source is working in the open. So documenting your journey on talk is one
Yeah.
way of you working in the open, working with other people. Other students might just come and go through your thread and see, let's see what person A is working on, how they've gone around it. And that way you're also contributing to open source by creating a
Yeah.
resource hub for other people to come back. Your project might also be continued post GSoC. So more people will come and see, how did this person think around the project? What was their logic? And yeah, submitting small pull requests is a way of you to demonstrate your capabilities to the mentors. So
Mm-hmm.
that way the mentors can see, so this person has contributed, this is what they have submitted. What do I think about it? They'll also be able to give you feedback so that as time goes by through the contribution stage, they can see your growth. You can also see your growth. You did this, you're given feedback, or your PR was merged, you are able to now work on another PR. So it's just a
Yeah.
way in which you're building in the open and everyone, including yourself, can see your progress. And another
Mm-hmm.
thing in the application process is drafting proposals. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
drafting
draft.
proposals
Yeah.
is like the key part. That is what ideally helps you get selected amongst other things. So
Mm.
Jaya can talk about drafting our proposals. Definitely, there are guidelines by GSoC on how to create a proposal, how to write a proposal, and how to get feedback. But now, on terms of now that Jaya is a mentor, for me on my side would be you should start drafting the proposal early and get mentor feedback. So how do you think that plays in terms of increasing your chances of being
Yeah.
selected to GSoC?
So one thing you can do is you can just create a Google document, and start working on it. You don't have to be perfect. Just share it with your mentor privately, obviously. So just share that doc with the mentor, with the review access, the comment access. So say if a student share that document with me, then I can like just review that proposal time to time and just give them feedback, so that you know that you are moving in the right direction. So you don't have to wait until the application period begins, or the like few days before the submission. You can do it beforehand. Our mentors are very helpful, so they will give you inputs on your application, and they will help you to navigate. So just a Google Doc, and share it with your mentor. And if you think it will be helpful for you to have another video like this for focusing on applications, just let us know in the comment section, right? Well, maybe we can
Yeah.
consider creating a new
Yeah, we are
video
happy
for
to
that.
do a specific video on the application process where we just talk about the application process with practical examples on what to do and what has been done. And even with the application process, in case a student is wondering, what are the minimum requirements that I need to meet as a student for me to maybe increase my chances of being selected as the contributor for that specific project? What should I do as a student? What are like the best level requirements that maybe the mentors would be looking at once they now begin the shortlisting process?
Yeah. There's a set of minimum requirements. The first one is earning the Dev 1 badge. There's a badge system at OpenMRS there you can promote. So the lowest one is the Dev Null. So you want to be promoted to Dev 1 badge. So that's a requirement. So how can we get the Dev 1? It's just simple. Just open single PR and Beryl,
Resolve one Jira ticket. That's another way
ticket,
you can do it. And also pass the
and
contributor quiz.
quiz. Yes, exactly. So once you do those three tasks, then you will automatically gain the Dev 1 badge. So that's the requirement that you have to do. And also there's another requirement is you have to review at least 3 pull requests. That means you go to someone else pull request and give suggestions, or just preview that. So this is very helpful. This is one of the best ways to learn on our code-based work, how our code base works and our best practices and everything. Just go through other PRs and provide feedback. Maybe it would be some from some another GSoC student. You can just help them just to improve their PR. So we specifically consider this as a requirement and a evaluation criteria in your proposal. So make sure to do that and mention it on your proposal. And you can also download the proposal template in the student guide. We'll share it on the description. It will be there. You'll get an idea.
Yeah, and you don't have to be an expert in reviewing PRs. You don't have to have
Exactly.
reviewed a PR before. As we said, the guidelines on how we go about reviewing PRs, so that will be listed on the guidelines on, yeah, I want to review a PR, how do I go about it? And also the other option is talking to the admins or mentors on, I want to review a PR, but I'm stuck, how do I review a PR? So don't get intimidated or feel like I have never reviewed a PR before, how do I go about it? We will help you go through the steps on how we want you to maybe review players. And when you do your first one, then you'll be able to do the second one and the third one, and even more at an easier pace. Now, right, we have said a lot of things. We have mentioned quite a number of things in terms of what OpenMRS is, how to get involved with the community,
Yes.
what the application process looks like, and what are the requirements for success. So as we wrap up, Ajay, maybe just give us a brief summary for anyone who'd be watching this video and they're interested in contributing to OpenMRS.
Yeah. So thank you so much for considering this as OpenMRS for GSoC, and thank you so much for watching this video. Like we shared a lot, as Beryl said. You know how to engage with the community. You know what to do. You know the requirements and everything. Like you know how to behave in the community. So um, start right now. Right, start right now. And if you have any questions, just post it on the GSoC channel. We are here to help you. We Our mentors are here to help you. Just keep engaging. We just don't be afraid to like speak. Don't be afraid to engage. So we are here to help you. I think that's what I have to share.
Yeah, and remember that successful GSoC applications demonstrate both your technical ability, technical skills, and also your community engagement skills. So we are really, really excited to see what you'll contribute to OpenMRS this summer and what your work will maybe contribute in our bigger goal of real impact in the healthcare field. So
And also, don't forget about the university analogy. So yeah, things will be frustrating at first, but eventually you will get up there. It will be easy for you to navigate once you be in the community for a few weeks. Yeah.
thank you so much for watching GSoC Guide. If you have any questions, please post them on our talk forum or any other communication channel that we have listed during this talk. All the description links and the resources that we have mentioned will be available just below this video in the description box. And with that, I'll say happy coding, everyone.